Hey everybody, 5th Horseman here. It is nighttime at Kerbal Space Center, and we have a new recruit. So let's go pick him up now. That's not where I pick up recruits. Let's pick him up now from here. And holy cow, he's seriously been deleted already. That is crazy. I think the game like deletes new hires very, very quickly. I'm gonna hire Gennard here. And I will be back in just a moment. I'm sorry, did I say Gennard? I swore I hired a guy named Gennard, but it seems like HR sent over a guy named Rob, so I guess we'll take him. He looks pretty good. Hi, Rob. Welcome to Kerbal Space Program. But as I alluded to last episode, I am basically embarrassed that I completely failed to get a correct ship up into orbit. As I said in the post commentary that I stuck in at the beginning of the episode, I didn't account for the fact that I had to lift the ship off of the planet, and I feel like a frickin' moron for doing that. So I've made a new ship. Let's turn off the extraplanetary launch pad stuff. This ship has almost 11,000 meters per second. It needs 10 to get to Dre, so we have a roughly 10% margin of error here, which is perfectly fine by me. I am going to bring it down here to more level with the ground. It's basically the same ship that I took to that I didn't take to Eeloo, with the addition that I've thrown some solid rockets here to get a really good thrust of weight off the launch pad. And I'm actually going to lower that down to 90% here. See how that does for us. 1.66. Yeah, I like that better. And there are no rockets on this. So when I kick these guys off, the thrust weight's going to be a little bit low, but it's not going to be too bad because things, because we'll be way up in the air already. So we are again going to have SCINECE running this show, not Bob. It's a much shorter trip, but it's still kind of a long trip. So we are going to launch this guy. I'm just going to get this thing launching and then I'll start talking here. Let's bring the alarm clock down a little bit. There we go. And close the Targetron. Got a lot of stuff on the screen here. SCINECE, are you ready to go? In 3, 2, 1, launch. There we go. Pretty good profile off the launch pad. But anyway, I looked up the Dre transfer, and if you look at this here, to get there, we need to go on day 226. I mean, it's currently day 212, so we're 14 days ahead. We need a ejection, blah blah blah, delta V, all that good stuff. All that stuff doesn't matter. The important thing is that we have plenty of time to do it, which means we can do the big orbit thing like we did with the other one. It's going to take 4:30 to land and to launch back up to Dre orbit, and then to get back again, it's going to take us this much. So the total delta V in the VAB needs to be 10,000, and as long as we're over 5662 in LKO, we are good to go. So we are gonna actually, yeah, we're just over, but I'm gonna leave it like that, and then we're gonna start our gravity turn right as those things finish. Yeah, we got a little bit above atmospheric efficiency at the launch there, but that was okay. Really good timing, actually. I really liked the timing of kicking the whatever you call them, solid rocket boosters off right as I start my gravity turn. I kind of got a little crazy with the gravity turn here. It's a little bit farther over than I wanted. Hopefully that won't cause too many problems here. I don't think it will. Oh, we're out of fuel on these guys. Get rid of those. Now our thrust to weight's really good, so we should be fine from here on out. Yeah, I'm learning the sound cues. Your rocket actually changes the sound it makes every time a fuel tank drains, and you can actually use that as an indicator to yourself if you're paying attention. Okay, we are 10 seconds away from our apoapsis. When I get to 5, I'm going to crank up the engines here and go. got very little fuel left in this stage. And it's gone. So now we're just going to bring our periapsis up here. We basically made we were very close to a circularized orbit already, which is perfect for this ship. That means we're not going to leave any debris in orbit, which I prefer. There we go, 87 by 84. That's good. Okay, and we've got 6167 Delta V, and as I said, as long as we had 5662, we are good to go, and we have 500 more than that, so we're still 10%. We have 10% more fuel than we need, which is perfect. Okay, now, you saw me plan the Eeloo stuff, and other than the fact that I screwed up the ejection angle, I had everything right as far as that was concerned. So, and this one does not have an ejection angle in it because I'm going to do a mid-course correction. The plane change I'm going to do midway there. So all we have to do is eject at 120 degrees to prograde on day 226. So I'm going to do all that. If you really want to see how I do it, watch last episode. And I will meet you again when we are ready to eject from Kerbin, or when something horrible happens. Or actually, you know what? It'll be actually when we get to Moho, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to be setting this thing up, then we're going to get to Moho. So this might actually be kind of a twofer, which is sweet. Sweet. I've decided to use my time wisely and bring some fuel back up to my refueling station. And also I dumped that there was that engine that brought up the Eeloo thing. I dumped that as well, just for the fun of it. But or was it the Eeloo thing? No, it was the Moho one. But I got another super close encounter, and I figured I wanted to show off. That's basically how that works. But yeah, this was the maneuver. The encounter actually said 0.0, and I actually slowed myself down here just in case I was going to hit it. But yeah, so I'm gonna dock this, and then this guy will be pretty much full of fuel, which is awesome. And then sorry, I'm like all concentrating here. Can't talk and fly a spaceship at the same time. I don't care what they do on Star Trek. Okay, so now so yeah, I'm gonna dock this thing, and then we'll head back, and we'll do our Dre thing. If you look here, just for the fun of it, I'll show you. This took about 1,000 meters per second to do this, give or take. And it was 1,600, so there's only about 600 left. So what he's going to do is he's going to go around 2 orbits, and actually he's almost at his periapsis, which is cool. Because once he passes periapsis, or no, this is him here. So he's got to go all the way around. Once he passes periapsis, he's going to come back up, and I can make the maneuver node to because he had to do 3 orbits, so I couldn't do it just now. But anyway, so we're going to dock these guys, and I'll be back in a little while. This is bad. I have a moon encounter that I wasn't paying attention to because I was watching the ship go around in cinematic mode, and the moon encounter gives me an ejection from the system, and I haven't saved in quite a while. So we need to burn away from the moon, aka away from Kerbin, which is going to be this way somewhere. We need the moon to affect us less. Or actually, do we want to burn toward Kerbin and then yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to burn toward Kerbin, because if we burn this way, then this encounter will be farther away this way, and then we'll be able to bring our periapsis back down. I hope this works. Let's hit F5. Like we should have done earlier. This is the problem with orbiting in the plane. I should have been paying attention to this, but I did not. Okay, so if we burn inward on our orbit, brings our periapsis hopefully back down to about 8,000. Or 80,000, I'm sorry. 67. Okay, let's go ahead and burn away a little bit. Actually, we should do the rest of this at periapsis. Let's see. This will bring, yeah. Center on Kerbin. Don't want that one anymore. Okay, 319 is too much. We want it to be around 80. And it should be pretty cheap to bring it back in. This is why we have margins for error. Because we make errors. 83. I think we're going to leave it at that. Okay. And this guy has a terrible turning ability here. Yeah, 3.5 meters per second. I think we can spare that fuel. Okay. So let's get around here. Yeah, I was watching it coming. I'm like watching the moon come. And I'm like, wait a minute. It looks like we're going to almost hit the thing. So I went into map mode, and sure enough, we were. So there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and enter Moon's sphere of influence. Okay, and now let's get to our maneuver node. And yeah, it's a tiny, tiny burn. And apparently it doesn't even need to be as much as it was because for whatever reason it didn't slow us down. But 2.6 meters per second can't be more than a 2 or 3 second burn. So we'll go down to there and... Okay, what is our actual periapsis now? 72, which is very low. So we are going to burn a little bit prograde just to fix that. Because the last thing I want to do is re-enter the atmosphere during our ejection burn. That would be, as they call it, bad. Now that actually brings it down. So actually I want to go away a little bit. Like, yeah. Oh my god, I'm doing everything wrong. I was actually facing the right way. I hadn't burned enough. It's not that I burned too much. Okay, I probably should have put a reaction wheel on this thing. There we go. 80, that's what I wanted. Okay, now, at this periapsis, we need a... Wow, I can't put a maneuver node here? There we go. Add a maneuver. We need to bring our apoapsis down into the Kerbin system. There we go. And our new periapsis is impossible to read, as is frequent. Oh, good. That's what I wanted. I wanted to delete that maneuver node. Oh, and it screws up our angle, too. Moon, you suck. Okay, well, we're going to have another... We're going to have another chance to fix that. So, okay, there we go. Yeah, sadly, there's absolutely no way to tell what my periapsis is. I cannot read those numbers. So we're gonna have to just do the burn and then look and see what it is when the time comes. So let's get ourselves aimed in that direction. This is why you watch, to see me screw up. We don't really need the maneuver node anymore, because we are just going to burn until we have an apoapsis. And we've got... I'm going to burn right before we get to the periapsis, about 2 seconds before. And as soon as we get an apoapsis, I'm going to stop burning. Okay. Perfect. And yes, we're at periapsis now. Okay, that's 4 days away. This periapsis is still impossible to read. It's 9 days, 11 hours. What are we looking at here? We're 6 days. So we need to bring this down to 6 days, 3 hours. So let's just do this now. 6 days. Stop screwing up. 3 up. 6 days, 3 hours, 34 minutes is what we want. I'm turning my ship around so we can burn prograde. Six days, 3 hours, and 33 minutes. Ugh. This ship turns like a cow. That's as close as we're going to get. Okay, now, let's set the moon back as our target. So we can fix our plane change angle here. 3 degrees. That encounter with the moon screwed up our encounter by 3 frickin' degrees. Okay, -3, so we want to burn -5. Whoop. Is that 0 now? Where is the... There it is. 0.0. Okay, it's a 5 meter per second burn. And we have to wait until we do that before we can plan our Dre burn. So I'm just going to get up here. We are going to... Yeah, we don't have any reason other to not crank up time. We are only 1 day away. Oh, actually, the next thing that happens is our Moho Kethane all-in-one, which is pretty sweet. And my cat is playing in a box, so sorry about that if you can hear that. Tell you what, let's just go over and check him out. Oh, look at this ship. It is crazy. Okay, this is going to be high, low, and... Yeah, these two are together, right? Yeah. Although it almost looks like I put a decoupler between everything. I did. So we can get the high, decouple it, get the low, decouple it, and then land and decouple it. I didn't know I put a decoupler between these two, but hey, that works for me. Okay, so in a day, we are going to be... Presumably, is this a day away, really? Yeah, a day and 18 hours. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and crank up time here. Go ahead and close that and unpause, and boom. Okay. Now we're going to observe this. High over Dre. 200 science, keep it. And observe this mystery goo. I keep calling this Dre. Over Moho. Go ahead and keep that. Okay, now who is up here? I forget who is where. Waffles, get out there. You have a job. You have to get up here. We're kind of on a time sink here. We're going to grab this data. Yes, I'm aware of what the implications of grabbing this data are. We're going to... Did I take the... Oh... Are you frickin' serious? I can't... Do I have to be in front of it? Is this seriously the way this game's going to treat me? Collect data. No. I don't want to reset the material bay. I want to collect the data. Yes. Now do an EVA report. Keep it. Okay, now get back in your capsule before we pass the frickin' planet. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, okay, it's not quite as dangerous as it felt when we were doing this. Okay, we are how far away from our periapsis are we? We're an hour away, so I don't know exactly why I was so scared. But okay, we are going to have to burn at least 1600 delta V to get into orbit, which is fine. We have twice that, so we're good. So let's get ourselves aimed in the right direction, and when we're about 5 minutes out, actually let's just say when we're 3 minutes out, although it could be more than a 6-minute burn. I think we should do a test burn here. I think we should hit F5. And then we should do a test burn. Yeah, it's an 11-minute burn, so we need to be like 5 minutes out. So, actually, let's dump this, because we don't need it anymore. Goodbye. It is an 11.5-minute burn. So let's add a new maneuver node alarm. 6 minutes out. And that is 57 minutes away. Let's get ourselves aimed in the right direction. And what we're going to do is when we get to... There's our target. We've made it, guys. When we get to this... Oh, look at the sun there. The sun is huge. Actually, we could have our solar panels out. Not that we need them. Apparently, one does not open the solar panels like I thought it would. I don't even know where my solar panels are. And actually, I don't want to open them until we're not using these engines anymore. So, let's go ahead and speed up time. What we're going to do is when we get to this 6-minute thing here, there we go. We're going to close the alarm and unpause, and then we're going to hit F5 again. Back behind us somewhere is that thing. I'm not super worried about it hitting us. Okay, 11.5 minutes, that's 45 seconds, so we're actually right now. And the reason I hit F5 is I am going to go into... I think 3 times is the best we can hope for here, because that looked kind of scary. We forgot to do a crew report. High over. Oh, sweet, we're still high over. Let's go ahead and keep that data for now. We will decide about transferring stuff when the time comes. But yeah, it looks like our thing isn't going to hit us, which is good. Keep doing crew reports until we're low over. Oh wait, can't do it there. Let's do a crew report here. You're still high over Moho. Let's go ahead and reset it. I don't know how close we have to get to Moho to be low over it, but... Crew report. We don't need that alarm, because we're already doing the burn. Let's make sure we're not... Yeah, we're not going to hit Moho. Bye-bye. Thanks, science experiment there. However, Moho, how close to Moho do you have to get before you're low over Moho? Kinda cray-cray. I guess we are 3 minutes for our periapsis, so... Hopefully our periapsis will be lower Moho, although we'll have plenty of chances to get crew reports and stuff from lower Moho. We gotta get this materials bay from low over Moho. Let's see if we are here now. Nope. Might as well activate our detectors here. That one's out of range. This one won't be though, because it's kind of... This one has a pretty high range. Hey! Let's see if we found any cathane. We did not. No cathane here. Okay, well, we're under 20,000. Let's see if this is high over Moho. Or low. No, still high. Oh! Cathane! Sweet. We found our first cathane. That should be worth science. Let's see. Still high. Pretty big cathane deposit here. And it's equatorial, which is pretty freaking awesome. And it's huge, which is also freaking awesome. Probably going to be our where we set up the base, because equatorial would be awesome. And yeah. Okay, we're almost to under 13, so we'll try another one of these. There we go. Crew report. High over Moho. But what we're going to do is we're going to get an orbit. And then out here we're gonna make our orbit perfectly equatorial. And then looks like we're gonna be under 10. Let's see, crew report still high. Once we get under 10, I will do another crew report here and see if that counts. High over Moho. Okay. I guess we're taking the lander can down with us. Or not the lander can, that thing. But we're going to be doing a lot of scanning first. This is yeah, we got a lot going on this mission. But I think I'm actually going to kill this maneuver node. As soon as we get this orbit here, I'm going to cut the engines, and then we'll fix our orbital eccentricity, or eccentricity, our whatever you call it. I don't know what you call it. The angle that you orbit around the planet. And I'm not 100% sure how I would do that, other than eyeball it. I guess eyeball it with the galactic plane. Although, God, that's a horrible orbit. Maybe I'll just leave it like this, and we'll fix it later. Don't worry, Moho. We're not leaving you. I should say, don't worry, HM Bill and Waffles. You're going to get in orbit. Yeah, I think I'm going to wait till I have more fuel just to make sure. I don't want to... The last thing I want to do is screw this thing up because I wasted fuel getting my orbit all set when we've got all this Kethane down here to mine. I got to look at that ore scanner and see how low you have to get for it to count. Plus, we want to undock the Kethane scanner and get it into a polar orbit. Going around and around, get into a stable orbit around Moho. I guess it just knew we were going to. Okay, we have an orbit. Get into a stable orbit around another planet. The first planet. How many people get into orbit around Moho first out of all the planets? Yeah, I mean, when you compare us to the galactic plane, we're talking right here is where we would want to do it. Let's just see how much it would cost. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's just see how much it would cost to align us with the galactic plane. Of course, that's going to send us into interplanetary space again, which is no good whatsoever. There we go. 208. 10% of our fuel. I just don't want to do it. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. We'll fix it later. Let's bring our orbit down a bit, though, to something a little more manageable. And I think I'm gonna call it here. This has been a successful episode. 85. What's our apoapsis here? 92. We'll just do 100 by 100. There we go. 92 by 93. That works for me. So, we will perform. Yeah, we actually have to go. No, this is the one. Let's go ahead and just do this. Okay, and go. Okay, 92 by 96. We're going to call that good. Okay, next episode, what we are going to do here is we are going to detach this guy out of the center of the stack, and then we're going to reattach this guy here who has a docking port here with this guy here who has a docking port here. We're basically just going to take the center out of the Oreo, and then we're going to attach these two guys together. Then we are going to get this guy into a polar orbit, and then we're going to send one of these guys down to land at that prospect that we have, and we're going to start thinking about where we're going to land the big base, which is going to be a frickin' blast. I am so excited about this. This is awesome. But what we got to do is the problem is there's a docking port here. So what we're going to have to do is once we decide where we're going to land, we're going to have to then undock this from the space station here and dock it to this guy. And then during the descent, we're going to have to view these and then pop this thing off so that when we land, we can then view these, and then these will be garbage and we'll never need them anymore. But we got it. We've got our Kethane base to Moho. Whew. And also, the next episode, we will also be doing the Dre thing. Is going to do his alignment burn, I think it is. I don't remember what burn this is, to be honest. Yeah, that's his alignment burn. We're going to do that and then plan his trip out to Dre. So, yeah, lots of things going on. I'm excited. Okay, sweet. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I really enjoyed playing it. I am 5th Horseman, and I will. Oh, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to tell you that, because you know what we're going to do? We just did a successful mission. We got into orbit around another planet, and we have earned some technologies. Okay, 1280 science. What do we need here? Because we're going to eventually be going to Eve. Eve is our next target. And not actually Eve. Gilly really is our next target. And we're gonna send a drilling station there. So we need the big docking ports for Gilly, because we are gonna clamp a docking port to the surface to do our refueling. So, boom, done. End of story. We'll get these eventually. Orange tanks are pretty important for Cathay mining, just because they cut the part count down on stations, but we'll worry about that next time. Okay, now I hope you enjoyed watching this. I enjoyed playing it. I am 5th Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.